All right. What's up, everybody? Pudge Fernandez here with another season of Hot Pudge IG Live, Season 2, Lockdown number 2. Yes, we took a break for a couple of, I don't know, it seems like a month and a half, I think, almost 2 months. Little technical difficulty with the cell phone. It basically fucking shit, crapped out, died. Wasn't able to make any connections, so I decided to wait for the new Apple iPhone to come out. Got it. Reloaded and did a little bit of work as far as improving my production. As you can see, if you see last season, I had a little makeshift, something off the cuff, fly type of background. But now it's official. I got a nice official background made thanks to Staples, $44.99. And yeah, it's looking hot. I've been doing a lot of work. Let's see. What's happened? We're in lockdown number 2. Wow. Didn't see that coming. I don't know what's going to happen. We had an election. We're apparently going to have a new president. Everyone's up in the air about that. At least the right wingers are. And now we're going to a second lockdown. I don't know about the rest of the country, but New York City, it fucking sucks. So, yeah, personally, as far as a comedian, and financially for everybody else, and mentally, I mean, I know I'm fucking, a lot of people going nuts. I've spoken to a lot of people, and it's like, you're not working, you're at home, you can't go anywhere, you can't go to a restaurant, you can't go to the gym now, they're closed again. So it's like, and now we're going into the winter. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. We actually hope it's cold, because there's that old saying, crime always goes up in the summer and it always drops in the winter. Well, I think I really want it to be really, really cold this winter, just to keep everybody indoors, because we don't need another crime wave happening in New York City, because it's a lot of things spiked up over the course of the summer, and we don't need that in the winter. So hopefully, I mean, I hate the fucking snow, but hey, nobody's going anywhere anyway, and what are you going to do? So I just rather have everyone indoors and safe. The money situation, wait and see. Is there going to be another stimulus check? Is there going to be more of that PUA money, that PUA money coming our way? I don't know. A lot of us can use it. I know I can use it. I've been unemployed since March. My unemployment, been working on it, was getting it. Now I'm not getting it. Now I'm calling unemployment every week to check in. They say it's fixed. It's not fixed. It's been a month and a half. Actually now, September, going on more than 2 months. And I haven't seen a fucking dime. So I'm living off my savings right now. I don't need much to survive, but whatever little they were giving me was fucking on point. So, yeah. So, like, definitely, I need my monies, like, ASAP. So, anyway, with that said, speaking of money, my man, Money Neko White, is going to be joining us now. I'm glad to have him. It's a real special treat. Also, a funny backstory behind that. Neko and he volunteered. He let me know I'm doing episode 1 of Hot Pudge IG Live, Season 2. And the reason he insisted on doing episode 1, season 2, is because he did episode 1, season 1. He was the official first person I had on for season 1, but it's not in the archives. It's not in my YouTube channel, because it was so early on in my big production that I had no shit about technology. Therefore, we did it. We recorded it. It was in my Instagram. Then it got erased 24 hours later. So I totally lost episode 1. If you go to my YouTube channel, Hot Pudge Sunday, you'll see all the episodes 2 through like 35 or something like that. I think I did like 35, 36, 37 episodes. So yeah, every single episode except Neko's. So that was a shame. That was a bitter shame. And it was a great episode. You missed it if you didn't see it live. But yeah, he insisted. He goes, Pudge, when you go season 2,
there we go.
I'm going to be number 1. Neko said he wants to be number 1. Here he is, season 2, lockdown 2, episode 1.
Second part, bro.
Holy shit! How are you, Neko?
Huh?
How are you?
Man, I'm beautiful, man. Today's a good day, bro.
How was your show? I know you just came back from a show.
No, that ended up not happening tonight. As a matter of fact, I guess either they didn't get enough people or whatever, but it didn't happen, which wasn't all that bad because you know how it is right now with the numbers going up. I'm one of those people where if it doesn't happen, I'm fine with it. And if it happens, I'm more fine with it. But today was dope, man, because I got to tell people about the project that I recorded a couple months ago. So.
Okay, yeah. Is that your second album or third album?
No, this would be the third one, man.
Third one. Okay.
This would be the third one. It's funny though because not a lot of people know that I have two others. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to have that much work out and each one is completely different, I'm really proud of that.
No, hey, I told you. I just
you did.
I saw. I don't know. Last time we spoke, I don't know what I was doing. Mm-hmm. Probably I fell into a YouTube like rabbit hole. Yep. And I saw you, and I watched your first special.
Thank you.
And I was totally impressed. I was definitely like, oh shit, because you did that when you were like 3, 4, 5 years old.
No,
in comedy.
It was I was 7 years in.
7 years old in comedy.
Yeah.
And the shit that you were doing, and this is from the comedic craft side of the house. I know most people are like either, oh, you're funny, you're not funny. No, I'm talking about the craft. The nuances was fucking blowing me out of the water because this shit that I'm 15 years in and I still haven't done, or I'm not there yet, and you're doing it when you're 7. So
thank you, man.
Yeah, so I told you were doing some shit, and I was like, oh fuck, and you did it again. I'm watching and I'm counting, and I'm like, I know what you're doing. Like most people, just regular people watching it will just enjoy it. I was like, as a comedian, like,
that means
I was like watching the craft at work, and I was like, fuck.
That means the world to me, man. Real talk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially because, like, if you folks don't know they're watching this, I've known Pudge since I was what? I met you when I was 16, right?
15, 16, yeah. I was taller than you. That's the running joke I tell people. I was taller than you.
You were taller than me. Pudge was like, it's gonna sound weird when I say it. Pudge was like heavier than, you know what I'm saying? Like the nickname really matched. You know what I mean? And Pudge gave me, I remember when I met you at Times Square Arts Center, I still had a stage name, right? And it was still the Junior King of Comedy, Neko.
Yeah.
And I remember you were hosting that show, and you came up and you was like, man, your regular name is so much better than that nickname. If you cut it, it'll probably work better, right? And sure enough, I agreed immediately, right?
Yeah.
And something else that I always wanted to thank you for, I made a lot of friends at that open mic that you used to run back at Laugh Lounge. Like you, Brian John, who's the first comic I ever met that I thought was a really solid writer that made me want to like sit down and put my pen.
Me too. Yeah, he did that to me too.
I met this gonna sound like a weird compliment, but I swear it's a compliment. You remember little Angel E. Gonzalez?
Yeah, Little Angel. Yeah.
So Angel was one of the folks that I watched, and I remember, you know how it is doing this. Everybody, you go up at the same time, but then sometimes people dip and they had their up and downs. I remember when he stepped away for the first time, right? And that was one of the first times I ever asked myself, like, gosh, you thought this person was really funny, and they stepped away. Could it ever happen to you? You know what I'm saying? And that whole thing. And I really thought about that for about, maybe a month after Homie took his first break. And I never told Angel that, but I appreciate him going through what he went through so I can ask myself that question.
You know what? He taught me something. He taught me something as well. Mm-hmm. And shout out to Little Angel because I love him to death and everything. And again, no disrespect.
You're a father now and everything.
Huh?
You're a pop now and everything.
Yeah, he is?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. He's a dad now. I didn't know.
Yeah.
But I remember, we were all at the open mics and, we're all doing our thing and crisscrossing each other and hanging and all that stuff. But he was one of the first ones. There was a few others where I saw it. Mm-hmm. You kind of saw it. They're not going to go anywhere. I saw it in a couple of people. And it had nothing to do with jokes. It had nothing to do with being funny or not funny. It had nothing to do. It had to do with their mind, their thought process.
Your mind means a lot. Your thought process and support, man.
And I'll give.
People don't get any support doing this, you know.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm one, but I kept going. But
Right.
I'll give you two examples. Little Angel was one because I remember at one point he said he went back to college. He had
Yes.
gone to take the class, and I was like, "Oh, cool! That's great, college." You know
Oh
what
no,
I'm
wait.
saying?
Let's pause for a minute. Is that Cool Mike Ski to send you
Yes, it
up?
is. That's Cool Mike Ski, the one and only.
Big dog. Okay, so we sharing stories, right? Because Pudge, we've been around for a minute, right? And Cool Mike Ski used to have shows up in the Bronx, man, and that's one of the things
That's his territory.
100%. That's one of the things I used to love a lot was seeing those shows, and I almost feel like a fucking old man, bro, because there's so many of those shows and like those rooms that aren't around anymore. And I'm not even talking about because of COVID. Even beforehand, there was a lot of those rooms that just weren't around for people to go to and see those shows. You know what I'm saying? Like it was because of people like Cool Mike and even what's the little short dude's name? Put me on some of the biggest shows I did when I was first starting. OC the bus driver. What up, OC? Cameo. Little short dude by the name of Cameo was a promoter up in the Bronx as well, right? And you would do those shows and you'd be able to see lineups that had, you know, Mike Yard and somebody like Imagine on it. You know what I'm saying? And hold on. Oh man, is that Cooper Rigo? Hey,
that's Cooper Rigo.
Cooper Rigo. I used to want to kick Cooper Rigo in his neck, bro. And let me tell you why. And I'd say this with all the love in the world. I remember when Cooper would see me, he'd be like, "Motherfucker, you ain't your age. How old are you? You ain't your age." And that shit really used to fuck with me because I couldn't tell if he was kidding or not. And yeah, man, rest in peace to Kenny Ortega. That shit, boy. That's one of those ones, man, where
never like waking up in the morning, turning on your Facebook to find out that a colleague passed away.
100%.
It's fucking uncomfortable as shit.
Did it ruin? Did it like hit your day, man? When I woke up, one of my friends posted about it on here. I didn't know anything had happened yet, and I saw it. I still can't bring myself to post about it because it's like it's a good guy.
Yeah, I posted. I just saw him in this past August when I did the last comic standing, and I bumped into him. And he was cool as shit. I hadn't seen him in a while. He was like, "Yo, what's up?" We had masks on, and right off the bat, he was kicking knowledge because I didn't know that he won that competition. Yeah. So he's telling me his formula, and he went up there with OC Caleb, and he was just kicking information. He was just kicking information and like, "Yo, do this. You didn't do this. Da, 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 and this is what I did." And I asked him some questions, and
always good for
open.
Always good for that. And it's again, it comes back to that thing that I was saying just now. There's a part of me that kind of feels bad for the people that are coming up now and starting now because they won't get to meet guys like that. You know what I'm saying? That you would have to be at a place like you go to a place like Ha, right? And that's where I first met Kenny Ortega back in 2007. And I remember the first time I met him, warm guy. And you wouldn't be able to tell that by first seeing him, right? Because he looks like, you know, the average Puerto Rican uncle that you would see up here in Harlem. And,
yeah.
But as a fellow Harlemite, the man always had, if he had something positive to say to you, he would say it to you. Right. You know what I'm saying? Or if he had something that might be a critique, he'd say it to you. I remember I had on a Kango hat, right? And I'm on stage with a mic at Ha. And I didn't know that the hat was blocking my entire face. So he came up, he said, "Man, you're funny, but you ain't realizing that hat is taking a lot away from what you're doing because they can't see your face." And it's so simple, right? It's so simple, but you know how it is when you start and you don't really want to hear anything. But as soon as he said, I said, that's cool to tell. And he kept that kind of energy, you know what I'm saying, whenever I saw him. Always positive. So to lose somebody like that just fucking sucks.
Yeah, I mean, because I was a young comic coming up too when I met him, and when you meet people like that, you want to follow in their footsteps. And I always try to be kind and honest to young comics. You know what I'm saying? Or try to be helpful because, you know, you just want to pass the torch. You just want to pass the knowledge. So
100%. Because
so
somebody
yeah,
did it for
I
you.
mean,
You
I don't
remember
know.
your
I don't know.
you remember your first person that was like that person for you? Like if you needed information or if you needed like a good critique, you ever had anybody who was like maybe not under the wing, but would look out?
Yeah, the one time, and this is and you said it just now. Like you got that information, and because you're a young comic, you wasn't trying to hear it. And I guess that's common. That's common with young comedians,
Yeah.
including myself. Because one of the first times I can remember off the top of my head getting critiqued was at the Laugh Lounge by
Young comedian,
Artie
bro.
Fuqua.
You are a whole vet now, dog. You are 15 years in. You mean when you
Yeah,
were a young comedian?
when I was a young comedian. Yeah, Artie Fuqua. We did a show, Laugh Lounge, like a Tuesday,
Great.
Wednesday, Thursday night, and
Mhm.
I had my tight five. I had a tight five, tight six, seven, tight.
Right.
So I was in that comfort zone of
Yeah.
that 5, 6, 7,
Right.
and Delilah was giving me those minutes, and I
Mm-hmm.
just went on stage. It was a very, very, very small crowd, spread out like a handful or two, and I did my
Socially distant.
tight five. Huh?
I said they were socially distant before that was a thing.
Yeah, yeah, Wavy. Yeah, yeah, they did. Yeah, and in the Laugh Lounge they like to spread out. So
Mm-hmm.
I went up there to flex my tight 5, 6, 7, and I got nowhere. I didn't get shit. I just stood up there and this is how I was. I was delivering. And
Yeah.
I didn't I left and I was like, what the fuck? I did this before. I rocked out before. What the fuck? And then Artie Fuqua goes on stage and he rips into these several people. He just
Yeah.
rips into he just does his thing. And he comes off stage. They're giving it up for him.
Yeah.
And then he just looks at me because I think he saw the look on my face, the what the fuck, just what the fuck, because I
Like
probably had that
what
face
did you just do?
after I bombed. Yeah, I had that look.
Mm-hmm.
I must have had that look, and I looked up at him, and he looks down. He's like, "Pudge, sometimes they just want to be talked to," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"What the fuck are you talking about? What do you mean? I just did material. What do you mean talk to them?" See,
Yeah.
I didn't get it.
Yeah.
I did not see. I didn't know about. I learned later. I know now. Intimate setting,
Of course.
small crowd, get more personal. It's not a stand and deliver type of scenario. You just casual. You know, and that's what he did. He talked to them. He just started talking, and then he started, weaning in and out of his jokes and talking to them, and it was like magic. It was seamless, and he ripped it. And I,
And he's
yeah,
another one of those folks that are like they're a force on stage, right? Because Artie was the first person that I saw outside of well, he goes by James Matter now, but he's the first person I saw outside of Mad Dog that would really control the room. I met Artie back at
yeah.
Stand Up New York, and every show he would host would get off stage. He would put in that much work for every crowd over and over and over again. And I remember somebody had let his age slip one day because Artie does 30 something. When I found out the man was in his like 40s and I wasn't even fucking capable of, it blew me away. Am I still connected to your Pudge?
Yeah. I mean, you're coming in a little broken or
Okay.
frozen.
Oh, okay. I wonder why. I tried to plug my phone in the charge. Maybe that did it. Does that fuck it up?
Could be. No, you're
Oh,
good
okay.
now.
But you coming in better now. Cool. So yeah,
Okay.
man, what we talking about, brother?
Hosting.
Hosting. Do you like that position? Hosting?
Yes. It's a position I always wanted
Mm-hmm.
because it's a totally different muscle. I saw one of the things that attracted to me was, first of all, you're the MC,
Yeah.
and it's the master of ceremonies. So I've always attracted to like watching the Oscars and the master of ceremonies, and as a kid going to the circus and this is the guy, the center of the ring,
Yeah.
commanding everything. So it's that Mickey Mouse Fantasia where he's in control. You know what I'm saying? So and then as a comedian, I saw it as an opportunity because when I was young coming up, all I kept hearing is comedians like, I don't want to host, I don't want to host, I don't
Yeah.
want to host, I don't want to host.
And
So
you
I'm
would
like,
do the jobs they want. Yeah.
I was like, bitch, I mean, that's stage time. You can practice and it's a whole other muscle. And I
Mm-hmm.
knew that crowd work was important because, you know, after you bomb so many times, you have to know. You may not like crowd work, but you got to know how to do it somewhere, somehow. So yeah, it's definitely a
Yeah.
plus. On the downside, what I found
100%.
it when I started producing and hosting my own shows, the downside of hosting is I started doing it so much, I created like a
Yeah.
hosting pattern, and I was doing too much
Mm-hmm.
crowd work and not enough of my material. And then
Got you.
it was like two different, like there's a wall, and I was doing one and not the other. And then sometimes when I flip back, I forget how to flip back. You know, like because it's two different
Right.
muscles. You know what I'm saying? So
100%.
it's like if I'm hosting all week and then I got to do a regular spot, I might be like, oh wait a minute, how do I,
Mm-hmm.
or vice versa. So
Got,
it takes
oh wait, we
time. It
got
takes
legend show. We got legend showing up in this live, Pudge. Hold on. D Red, what up? Micro Seeker and Stacy Gray Unlimited. What's up, Miss Stacy? How are
D don't
you?
like hosting. See, there's another one. See, D don't like hosting.
No. I like hosting. The thing with hosting, it's funny because I always like comedians like Steve Harvey. I think Steve Harvey's the greatest host ever.
Yeah,
And I
he's
always
killing it with
felt
Family
like it
Feud.
was oh yeah. I always felt like it was a really underappreciated position, right? Which made no sense to me because at least here in New York, the MC gets paid the most, right? So coming up here, you know me, I was quick to always ask about what the money was and which position paid what.
Right.
So when I found out that MCing pays like almost 4 times what a spot paid during the week, I didn't mind that shit. You know what I'm saying? I didn't mind that
Right.
because the way I host it, I'm gonna do my material anyway. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna do my material
Yeah.
regardless. I'll break into crowd work just to get them comfortable. You know what I mean? But
Right.
as whenever I host, I want to be able to get the crowd cool with being around each other and feeling like they in a comfortable environment. But also, you never unless you know who the first act is, and a lot of times you just find it out when you get there. You want to make sure if it's somebody that is doing straight material that they have a chance because sometimes
Yeah.
if you do just crowd work, you could bury them and you could create a space where
It's
now
a
all they do is talk, right?
it's a
So it's a
huge
really
responsibility. It's
yeah.
a
I feel like
huge responsibility.
yeah, you're really in control of the whole thing. You're setting the table, right?
Yep.
And you learn a lot too because I remember I started hosting for Donnell Rollins gave me a shot at it at hosting his shows at Caroline's, right?
Oh,
And I was grateful for that because it shows you like your only job is to set the table. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And make sure that everybody else is coming up can eat. You know what I mean? And you're not a sacrificial lamb. I think that more should be done to explain to people. Because sometimes you have people that will go to a show and be like, I've seen people go to hosts and be like, so when are you gonna go on and like do the comedy? And I've
Yeah.
wanted to choke those people for the
Yeah.
host that
Yeah.
they were talking about. You're talking to a comedian, fool. Like they
Yeah.
aren't that
Yeah.
of positions. And there's sometimes where I feel like the South and other regions do it right, where it seems like everyone has to host at some point, as
Yeah.
opposed to here, where depending on who you are, you can completely skip that. And I think that might not be the best thing. You know what I'm saying? I
I
feel like
think what
everybody should know
irks me the
how
most, it's a huge job. It's a huge undertaking. There's a
leadership.
lot of responsibility. I think there should be like an official class because what irks
Yeah,
me is some people just throw up anybody to host and they don't know what they're doing and they're not. It's like they don't know the craft. There's the craft of being a comedian and there's a craft of being a host. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
It's like you can. There's a lot more
And
to it, and they don't. And I see too many comedians or producers or comedy clubs not care.
Right.
They just throw up anybody, and it's not set up properly, or they're not. It's a very the most
So
unselfish position in comedy.
it is a really unselfish position, 100%. And to that end, though, I'll say this: but where else would they start, right? Because I've always been like that. Like, everybody has to start somewhere. So if people can't do a job, that's why they should be hired for that job so they can fucking get it right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's just, but some producers and some places don't care. You know what I'm saying? It's like they just throw a body there, and they're not
Right.
making any effort. Because the host is the anchor.
The
You
host
mentioned
thing.
you mentioned James Mattern. I mean, he talks about hosting, and I think on his podcast, the commissioner, he talks about it. There's a lot to it, and I think there should be more emphasis. Definitely good pay, definitely better pay than a regular spot, but more training or more emphasis.
I think there should be more for hosts in particular, especially like because you have some people that they'll do certain spots over and over and over again to the point where it's like, they might only be at those places, but they're a big part of the place. We don't have a union, and that whole conversation would be so deep to get into. But I think for like MCs, like people that MC at certain places a lot, I think for hosts, maybe we should start trying to look into something. You know what I'm saying? Just as a collective, because that position, especially countrywide, in New York, it's cool. If you're a host in New York City, you can make bread. If you're a host outside of here, like there's people that were making what? I think the rates in some places like $50 for that position. You know what I'm saying? And their time commitment as an MC is the whole show.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You there to that shit. It's over.
The whole show, for like 5 shows.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they walk away with what? 5 shows that they making $50 a piece. That's what, $250? But their time spent altogether after 5 shows, that's 5 hour-and-a-half time commitments. So
right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That's one thing.
They should. Definitely. It's a different craft. It's a different craft all its own, and there should be more emphasis and more. It should be held up on a pedestal a little bit more, because I just want to see better hosts. I've been to too many shows, and it's, like you said, it's the most unselfish position. But then you have some comedians, they take the job because they just want to get the material out, and they're not thinking about others, and they're not thinking about setting up the show. They'll just get on stage.
That's a small percentage, though. I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that like that's common. That's a really small percentage. I think what happens more so, you might see some folks that aren't really comfortable in the job yet, but they just got to do it. You know what I mean? But it's not like we force anybody to do any spot.
True.
So, okay, if you don't want to do it, I ain't going to keep begging you. You know what I'm saying? I'll find somebody that wants to do it or somebody that's good at it. But I do think in other regions, they do it right, where you hear the stories of everybody has to host. Now, on the road, the way that they host it's not formulaic because they all have a particular flavor that they bring to it. But it's there's certain rules, like, okay, at this point in the show, you're going to make the announcements. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to read it off the card and all that type of stuff. As opposed to here, you have more of like, all right, get this thing started, energy, and all right, so, and then you just go on and do your thing, right? Yeah. But I do think there's something to that structure because it brings everybody through that rank. So no matter what, you're going to learn how to set the table. Whether you end up all the time or not.
Yeah, some comics
know how to do it.
I just think, we have the open mics in order for us to learn to be comics and put material together. I think there should be like a hosting mic or something where everybody has to host.
I remember I hosted Stand Up New York after Michael Grosso had left, and I think
Michael Grosso.
Right. It's me and you, bro. We're gonna throw around some throwback names, man. What other time I'll get a chance to tell this story, right?
Yeah.
So he had just left to go to Florida, I think. And Salman took over that mic for a little while, and then I had it. Man, I loved having that shit. Coming down from school, stopping at Cozy right around the corner from Stand Up New York. Yeah. And dog, I would take up a little extra time in the beginning too, 5 minutes, and do my stuff. 7 5, and there was only one. What was her name? Oh shit! I think she left with homie to go down to Florida. There was only one person that was like, she was really mean to a lot of other comics. So I was like, let me light this lady early, get her the fuck out of here. She almost made Dennis cry.
Who? Who'd she make cry?
Jessica somebody. And almost
she
made Dan.
Parafan?
She ain't make him cry. But they got into it back and forth. Bitch was mean as hell. Mean as fuck.
And she left comedy.
Yeah. Yep.
See, yeah. It's like, see, I remember Michael Grasso. That was. Oh yeah, we got a lot of people. I remember Michael Grasso. He was one of those. Getting back to Angel Gonzalez, Little Angel from Jersey. Sometimes it's weird. You can't tell who's gonna make it or not. He had gotten. I remember he was. It took us by surprise because he was passed at the comic strip. He passed the audition.
First comic I know that had been passed at a club. It was him, and then I think a couple months after that, Chris Stefano got passed at High, something like that, right?
And then he ended up falling in love, moving to Florida, and dropping comedy. And that one we didn't see coming. But then, like I was saying before, Little Angel, I kind of saw it because he had said he went back to college.
Right.
And I was like, cool, that's great. Mm-hmm. College is good. But then he said, just in
case my phone dies, I want you to know that it ain't me. I don't know what percentage I'm at. Okay. It said it was at 20 before, but I don't want to touch it and mess up the reception. So if I go out.
No problem.
You know
so
what I mean?
Little Angel says he's going back to college. And I was like, cool. And then he said, I'm joining a fraternity. And I'm like, why are you joining a fraternity? Oh, it's cool. I want to join a fraternity. And in my head, I'm like, you're already in a fraternity. Comedy is your fraternity. Why the hell? And that's when it kind of, I was like, I don't know. Because now, you know what I'm saying? It's like, that was just like an inkling. I just had an inkling. I'm like, dude, this is a fraternity. This is a brotherhood, a sisterhood, a comedy hood. This is the island of misfit toys. We found each other. We found a home.
Yeah.
Like, why are you going to go look for another home? That didn't make no sense to me. So I was like, It was the first one that kind of drew me. It was like,
Another legend. Tim Louise, Big 4-4.
Big 4-4.
Of Virginia comedy, man.
I haven't seen him in a minute. He did one of my first shows at. You remember Play Lounge? You remember Play Lounge?
Bro, of course I remember Play Lounge. I was waiting for you to bring up something like Play Lounge. So
that was my first major production.
I know, and it was one of my first major punishments at the crib because I remember I had a Regents test, right? And I was on your show at Play, and Giannis that was back at the time when you had Giannis clothes in every room that you had, right? So I was on a run where I was Rolling Greens with y'all. I was on what you call that place? Rolling Greens, Play Lounge, and there was a third spot that y'all had, right? And we always had to meet. Yeah. And I'm deep from Queens. I'm all the way up here in Harlem. So now, Giannis back at that time, you remember he would do like an hour and a half on those shows. But you were my ride back to the train station. So, and this is before Uber and all that shit. So I didn't know Queens like that. My mom was blowing my phone up, bro. It was like 12 in the morning, and Giannis had just got on. So I already knew. I'm like, yo, I'm going to be here till 2:30. She's going to fucking kill me. So I tried to send one text, right? I tried to Sage, he's last. I'm going to get her. My fucking phone died. I didn't get back to the house until had to be about almost 3 in the morning. I ain't too old to get like a beating or anything like that. But man, she was like, where were you? Blah, 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 blah. Why you answer your phone? I'm like, Mom, my phone died. And she said, well, who was the fucking comedian? I said, well, it was Giannis Papas. So I don't give a fuck about Yana Papa. What the fuck did you do that it took you so long to get home? Yana Papa. Dog, he was so mad, and I'm grateful that I made it to my history Regents the next day on time. But yeah, I got in a lot of trouble over that shit.
I remember one time I wanted you. It was Rolling Greens, and I had to make sure I took you home.
Yeah,
I had to make sure your mother had to make sure that I took you home in order for you to do my show.
bro, there was a war going on outside. You know what I'm
Hilarious.
saying? Yep. No, I'm being dead serious. That's one of those things that I would stay at clubs later because niggas was getting shot around here. You know what I'm
Oh
saying? She
wow.
called me, hey, where you at? I'm still at Laugh Lounge. Okay, stay down there a little longer because they popping out there. You
Okay.
know what I'm saying? So that's why that was what I remember. Sim had a show out
Give
in
it up for
Brooklyn,
Mom White.
and this
Give
was
it up
before.
for Mama.
Huh?
Give it up to
Say
your
that
mom.
again.
Give it up to your mom.
Hell yeah! Give it up for mom. Y'all put some clapping emojis in there for Sandra. You understand? Best mother in the
Nice.
world. And having said that, though, when it was rough around here, like really rough, we got kind of gluten free-ish in the last couple of years. These little young motherfuckers that are coming up are wilder than we were, but I don't really have to see them like that. But coming up then, I remember I would walk around, even when I would come to spots, I always had something on me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because coming back, you didn't want to get caught up in any of the BS. You know what I mean?
Right.
I would come back. I had a bike spoke at one point. I remember menuing. He said, "Nigga, you Batman? Why do you have all these like little odd weapons?" Just in case, because it did get that wild. I used to didn't take I'm on Madison Avenue. I used to didn't walk down Madison. I would walk to Fifth Avenue and then take that down
And come
because it
down.
was like a neutral area by Central Park. If you were walking down the avenues past the
Right.
projects, you get stomped out. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they knew you weren't from around there. And I always went everywhere
Right.
alone or close to alone. So yeah, that's why you had to bring me back express.
Yeah, I know. I remember. I said I wanted you for Rolling Greens. And it was like my mom wants to know. I got it. No
I remember
worries.
that
I got
show.
it.
Yeah. I'll tell you a story from that show. It was one of the
You
highest
did all my
compliments I
shows.
ever got. Yeah, every show you had. I remember you had me on the Hot Pudge Sunday back
the Brooklyn
back
one.
before it was an interview show. Back when it was on Sundays at Laugh Lounge.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
when I
Hot
did
Pudge
Rolling
Sunday.
Greens, right? And I love that Constantine Malaka, I think was her name, his sister. You remember them? I think they were on the show. One of them was on that show. But anyhow, I do that show, and a lady came up to me, and I forget who was on stage, but she came over, and it's the nicest thing anyone said to me at that point. She said, "Young man, make sure you keep going." Right? And I'm like, "Oh, okay, thank you." Whenever I get any type of praise, I really appreciate it. But after you say it the second time, I don't know what to say. You know what I'm saying? She was like, "You're great. Keep it up." She said, "I want to tell you something. I saw Chris Rock when he was your age, and you're just as good as he is. You keep going." Man, I wrote that shit down in my notebook. You know what I'm saying? And I took that. I wish I still had it. I'd take this phone and show you. I took that and I put it on the wall back there in the back. I was so happy about that.
Wow.
So shout out to Rolling. That place still around?
Yeah. You know what? It's a fucking shame with this Corona. I swear to God, I promised them a free show to help them out because I wanted to give back under their circumstances and the businesses and I had, we spoke about it early in the spring when Corona was just hitting, and a lot of people, including myself, predicted that by September, October, we should be back on our feet and rolling.
Well, we could have been, but these motherfuckers took their masks off in July.
I don't know. Yeah, dude, you know what? I don't know. I don't know. Now we're going into the winter.
And you see, they said they want the nurses and the people that work in hospitals take it first. And it's like, oh, so wait, y'all want them to take it first, even though you're admitting that it's going to make people sick when they get it. It has to make you a little bit sick. So I understand you want to give it to the healthcare workers first. I'm just saying, if they get sick, is that really a good idea to start with them? All of them? Because they get sick. You have the first 2 weeks of we in the middle of a spike, and the doctors are too sick to show up to work because they have to the antibodies starting to work.
I mean, there's a big debate. Who gets it first? The healthcare workers, EMTs, FDNY, NYPD.
I'll tell you what
Elder,
first.
huh?
Not me. Now, I'm not getting it first. I'm gonna get the second batch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm
I'm gonna,
cool. I'm gonna lay low. I'm gonna lay low. I'll
yeah,
just watch the. Yeah, yeah. I'm of that mindset too. Let a couple
put
of
my
thousand go first.
put my mask on and see how I want to see how it handles other people, because I don't want to lose any limbs or nothing like that. Yeah.
You know what? I volunteered for the army. I think I went above and beyond, and I got my shots through them, and whatever else
Yeah.
they put inside of me. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
cool. I'm cool. Let
Yeah.
everyone else's turn. I'm not, because
Very
I just
good
don't know.
time. Oh wait, we got more legends that showed up. Let's shout them out. Kerry Cadet popped in. What's up, Kerry? What's up,
Hmm.
Queen? Good to see you. Let's see. Gregory Hall, Big G, D Red 2001, and yup, and very good comedy. Shout out to Eric Grooms too, by the way. Man,
You
this
bring the
Neko is
crowd.
cool.
Nico brings
Yeah.
the crowd.
Hey, dog, this all for you. Now we in the last 10 seconds, so let's put not 10 seconds, last 10%. So let's close out strong. What we talking?
I don't know, man. Where are we going? You know what?
Um,
I was just saying, like when I started this Hot Pudge IG live, I never thought there'd be a season two. I
yeah.
never thought. I thought I'd be, because I'm also, I'm leaning towards a podcast. This is all going to flex into a podcast, so I'm just working it slowly, building it. I got my artwork done already, and I'm just figuring out some other stuff. But I never thought we'd be going into Christmas, and we got a taste of just the last couple of months fighting to get spots, not
Yeah.
fighting, more like looking,
Yeah.
and now
Just
boom, it gets taken away again. Like, what the fuck? And it's like, now what?
it's it's such a weird feeling, man. But I had to start today, and again, you know how when you finish a project and you can finally like breathe a little bit. I had one of those things, right?
Mhm.
So we finally finished this dark out project, and I sat for a minute today and was like, fam, I'm really happy to be able to be during this time. You know what I'm saying? Like to be able to put something out and to be able to
Right.
understand what it is to be a part of this shit. Like for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to love this thing when everything's working, right? God knows before this fucking virus that came in, whew, this shit was
Yeah.
working like a. But when this happened, it moved so many things, right? It's supposed to do a special in April and all that stuff. And it moved all those things. And then I was in that space of, well, shit, now I'm just sad. What do we do? Right? And then it took some things changing, but we were still able to do. You
It
know,
created
shit.
opportunities. It definitely pushed us. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, look, look,
it,
look at you. Look at you at your show. Look at this. You know what I'm
yes.
saying?
Yeah. And I thank God.
This,
And
on my
and
side, Dark Out is something that I didn't think it was gonna go the way that it went. I'm watching a Lil Wayne documentary one day. Homie goes, and he's one of my favorite rappers, and this is before and after he took the picture with Trump. Still one of my favorite rappers. And the man goes into the booth, right? He doesn't write any of his lyrics down. He just spits, right? Goes
right.
in, puts the microphone, he does his thing. And I watched that and said, well, why can't I do that? You know what I'm saying? Why can't I do that
Right.
with jokes? I reached out to one of the owners of New York Comedy Club. Like, hey man, you have a music studio. Could I record something in there? They got back to me like that. You know how it is when you have an idea and you don't really know
Right.
how it's going to work. So I was nervous to even ask, but I knew I had something because everybody that I asked liked the idea and they were quick. You know what I'm saying? To tell me yes for it. So I reached out to Mike Lavin, the homeless pimp. Shout out to him. We got Pete Davidson Gems here. What's up, Pete Davidson Gems? Is that the fan page for the homie? Fuck yeah. So now I get down there and Scott uses this Frank Sinatra mic, right? He lets me use
Right.
this Frank Sinatra mic. That
Old school. That
costs
old school mic. Yeah.
old school, and Mike Lavin set up the cameras. And going in, I'm so nervous. There's no audience there. I hadn't
Right.
worked out on set the way I'm used to. Usually when I do something like this, I'll work it out 500 shows and then go, okay, boom, now I'm ready.
Now, yeah. Yeah.
This time,
The
I had
prep.
to sit on material for what? almost 3 months. So going through all the Black Lives Matter stuff and all the fury I had watching that shit, just going through everything with life. I came into this shit single, you know what I'm saying? I'm still single now, by the way, but like going through that, feeling that the money that you thought you was gonna make versus the money you make, and you know, just growing up a little bit and realizing that I'm a man, bro. As a man, no one's going to feel sorry for you. You know what I'm saying? There's none of that. You know what I'm saying? If you're born with a penis, there's none of that. You know what I'm saying? There's no sympathy for you. You have to do something. So when we finally did the thing and it worked, best fucking feeling. Best feeling. So for right
So
now, I'm just
this
happy
album
that
is one huge riff. That album is one huge riff.
This is special, bro. It was gonna be an album. It was gonna just be audio, but we recorded it, and I ended up being so proud of it.
Video and audio.
Video and audio, man. Video. You know what? When we get off of this, I'm gonna send you the hour, because it's an hour and 3, and it's different. It's completely different hour from introducing me. Completely different hour from Marcellus. So again, to do that and go into and to be able to flow, I was happy about that. It's the one thing I could say this year I went after the album. I could say I was really proud of. You know, so I'm really proud of this one.
It's awesome, because I was saying this about myself, but you included. I think this Corona thing made us realize how true of an artist we are inside, because before it was like casual. I'm a comedian. I'm an artist. Yes, I'm an artist. You know, I'm a comedian. Of course, I'm an artist. It was just casual.
Yeah.
But now, once the comedy got taken away, you still had this artistry drive and fuel that it had to come out somewhere. And it came out, you with this new album and me with this technology.
Yeah, I can't even explain to you how much I love comedians. Can't even explain it to you. You know what I'm saying? It's almost a little different for me, because I came in so young, and I spend so much time around you motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know, I've had this argument with my wife. I should marry a comedian, because that's the only person that would understand me.
Bro, the one thing that I never did, and that I look back now and go, man, when we come back, I might just open the floodgates. I ain't never fucked around with no other comedians. Never. But it's like, they understand this shit. They understand the emotions that go behind it, and like the hot and coldness of it. You understand? To where, look, relationships, there's sometimes when was it? Last year early, I had this bad breakup with this girl, man. And it was one of those things where she didn't get.
Shit, coming in broken. All right. Neko froze. Fuck, we were getting into a good conversation about relationships. Yeah, man, definitely. There's something about being an artist in a relationship with a person that's not an artist, because the emotions, the mental, the mentality, unless you're an artist, you don't get it. You don't get it. It's just, how do I explain it? See, if you're a comedian or an artist and you're listening to me now, you're like, yeah, Pudge, I fucking get it. But for everyone else that's a civilian, it's like, I don't know. It's something that runs deep in us. It's something that comes out of us, and sometimes we wear our artist emotion on our sleeves. And I don't know, people don't get it. I know my spouse doesn't get it, and we've had arguments about it, because I try to explain it and she doesn't get it. You know what I'm saying? It's like just this whole other language. I know that's where Neko was going, and that's why he was even saying, once this Corona thing is over, he might go to dating comics, because dating a non-comedian, what we call maybe a civilian, or somebody not in some kind of art form doesn't get it. It's fucking hard. It's just the mentality that we have. Hey, it's like somebody who swims with sharks. Who the fuck is going to understand somebody who swims with sharks other than someone else who swims with sharks? You know what I'm saying? So it's just, it is what it is. So yeah, definitely relationships are hard, especially with you're an artist, especially with stand-up comedians. So yes, thank you, Neko, for coming on. Neko just is chiming in. His phone died. He says give him 5 minutes. This shit's gonna get cut off in 5 minutes. So Neko, don't worry about it. I'll get you back on. We'll do another one. Because yeah, Instagram is only what 1 hour, like 59 minutes, 1 hour, and according to my clock, we got 5 minutes left. So Neko, don't worry about it. I'll get you on again. Even better. This is why I want a podcast, because we don't have a fucking time limit, and I'm working on it. As you can see, since my last season, hey, I got the nice little poster going. I got some artwork going. I had a lovely young lady work on my art. As far as Hot Pudge Productions, go to my YouTube channel, Hot Pudge Sunday. You can see some of her artwork up there, and I also got some other artwork for the podcast coming. Compliments of Brian John. Yes, comedian Brian John, who's also an artist and also published a graphic novel. I got it. I should have brought it up. But anyway, yeah, check it out. And use Anchor Pudge. Yeah, supporting Pudge. Thank you. Thank you, Neko. Thank you. All the support, all the love. Yeah, Anchor, whatever. I've been called a lot of things, never an anchor. Unless I'm heavy like an anchor, and then that's something different. But anyway, so yeah, use Anchor. It's easy. Use Anchor. All right. Anyways, hey, episode 1, season 2, lockdown number 2, Hot Pudge IG Live. Thank you, Neko White, once again. Rest in peace, Kenny Ortega passed away. I think early this morning or late last night. Guys, Corona is real. Cover up. Do what you got to do. Stay healthy. And that's it. Again, go to my YouTube channel. Check out season 1. Hot Pudge Sunday is my YouTube channel. Hot Pudge Sunday is my YouTube channel. Check it out. And stay tuned to my Instagram, Facebook for more interviews coming up. I should be having another one this Thursday. Probably going to do it like I did before, every Tuesday and Thursday. That's the schedule. Was that the schedule I had before? No, I think I had Sunday. So I don't know. I'll figure it out. Just fucking stay online. Instagram, Facebook. You'll have the schedule. I'll have a list of everyone that's coming on. I'm going to have definitely totally new people and some non-comedians as well. And who knows, maybe a celebrity or two if I get my hands on one. So guys, once again, Pudge Fernandez signing out. Hot Pudge IG Live, episode 1, season 2, lockdown 2. Stay safe. God bless. See you at the next Instagram Live.